Hi and welcome to the Canuck Union line and a review of some of the locomotives and stock I've got running there. In May I was fortunate enough to go to Alaska and ride on the Alaska Railroad from Anchorage to Seward and return. At the Anchorage Railroad station there's a shop and it sells model railroad things, locomotives and cars. I purchased a couple of FP7s and we see them here, number 1510 in black and gold livery and number 1512 in a bicentennial livery of white and gold. These are DCC ready, so running here on the DC tracks, and yes, the passenger cars are Via Rail Canada, but then they're very similar in colour and livery to those currently used on the Alaska Railroad. Here we see Burlington E7, number 1919A, produced by Roadway Limited Imports, with Paragon 3 and Rolling Thunder sound. It's an interesting locomotive, although it's proved to be a little temperamental. As you might expect for a sound-fitted locomotive, this is a full range of sounds, horns, bells, even platform announcements, farm announcements, radio messages, lumberyard noises, the list goes on. Certainly over 20 sound functions. Here are some of the sound effects. Sorry if it's a bit long-winded. Here it's running well on the upper tracks at Canuck Union lines, but when we moved it to the centre roads we had a little more trouble with stalling, mainly on joints, even where there's a power feed. At the same time that we purchased the Burlington E7, we purchased a BLI Union Pacific E7 set, A and B set, number SF6. For whatever reason, only the A unit is powered, the B unit is free rolling but very heavy. Has identical functions and sounds to the Burlington unit, and surprisingly runs a lot smoother on the centre roads. Here we see a Canadian National GMD1 by Rapido. It's in Canadian National green livery and is hauling one of my pairs of articulated autoracks in Rio Grande livery. Now whether that's original or not, I don't know. The caboose is well lit and is by Rapido as well. You'll note how smoothly the GMD1 is running on the centre lines. These are now being controlled under DCC. I could switch between DC and DCC. But because the Burlington E7 was stalling a lot, the airport had to be removed to access the hidden tracks and to be able to clean under the tunnels. But as we can see here, the GMD1 runs smoothly. Here's another Alaska purchase, an Alaska Railroad SD70 Mac, number 4011. This is DCC ready, so it's running under DC at the moment. A recent trip to Alaska, I also went to British Columbia, and in Victoria, BC, I went to the closing down sale of the BC Shaver and Hobby Shop, which is really sad because it was an excellent store. Among the things that were left to purchase were these two boxcars produced many years ago by another model company now no longer existing called Pacific Scale Rails. Now I wouldn't normally buy a commercial advertising type boxcar, But in this case the livery is very attractive and from a distance could belong to any North American railroad. Cars bought at Anchorage included this Alaska Railroad boxcar and the rather small caboose. Yeah, I know we don't see many cabooses running around on trains these days, but the Canuck Union lines is a short line and we have to imagine that the freight is running from one yard to another on different systems. Here's my current favourite locomotive, the BLI Pennsylvania T1 Duplex number 3288. This locomotive has really good sound. It has all the same facilities in terms of sound as the diesels, but it is loud. I can hear this locomotive, especially when the horn's going or the bell, in the house. Not in the garden outside the railway room, but in the house. This is loud. I presume it's just down to the tender being more reverberating than the body of the locomotive in the diesels. On the theme of sharp-nosed fronts, such as that on the T1, here are a couple of Delaware and Hudson sharp noses. Okay, each is number 1216, but then that's what I bought. They're the ER models, DC locomotives, and they're small enough that you can't tell what numbers they are. They're in that lovely Delaware and Hudson blue and silver livery, imitating the Santa Fe war bonnet livery. I bought these over 15 years ago, and an amusing tale, they arrived from the US and were put to work straight away. We were very pleased. Then a week later a large parcel arrived by courier, and I suspected I knew what it was, and it was a pair of HO scale sharp noses. I contacted the shop that sold me them, and they admitted they'd been misaddressed and were due to go to a customer in Japan, so they was duly forwarded. Fortunately, those were in the days when the British Post Office were not very good at detecting things for requiring customs duty, and nothing was paid and nothing was really owed. You can see the airport's been put back, and we've got a few 1960s, 50s and 60s airliners there. We have the T1 in its element with a passenger train.
This is the Proto Roadway Limited set with a Centralia car shops, fleet of modernism diner added into the consist. Whoa, turbo, that's out of period. If you enjoyed this visit to the Canuck Union lines and a review of some of the locomotives available to hold stock there, please feel free to subscribe and don't forget to tell your friends. Thanks.